of the environment and what's going on. And he will correct things along the way that need to be corrected. So if you want your wife to have a high level of respect for you, you can't simply wait for her to ask for your help. You have to use your eyeballs. Step out of your mental bubble that you're living in as a man and start scanning your house and your marriage. She shouldn't have to remind you of tasks that are yours in the marriage. You should be able to look at the environment and see that it's a disaster. You should be able to just look and see that something's not working and step in and assess what needs to be done to get the ship operating right. She shouldn't have to ask you to watch the kids so she could take a bath. You should be able to look at her and think this woman doesn't have the proper time she needs to take care of herself. She shouldn't have to ask you to take her out on a date once in a while. You should know that marriage requires constant nurturing and that you need to proactively set those up. You shouldn't have to ask her if she's had a rough day with the kids. Her attitude and exhausted demeanor should make that perfectly clear. If you just use the power of intentional observation, it would take your marriage up to a whole nother level. But most men make the mistake of offloading the entire operations of the marriage onto their wife's shoulders. And that's exhausting for a woman. And this is especially true for those guys who believe that being a great husband simply means going to work and earning a paycheck. These men mistakenly believe that their day ends at 5 p.m. and that they get to go home and just relax. And yes, that's true to an extent. But just because you've worked a tough day doesn't mean you get to mentally check out from 5 to 10 p.m. each night, especially when your wife works as well, whether that's inside the home or outside the home. When you mentally check out from 5 to 10 p.m. and leave everything on your wife's shoulders, she's going to feel like she's a single mother who has to run the entire ship because the captain has mentally abandoned the ship. This lack of involvement in the activities and the responsibilities at home will cause her to view you as incompetent. And she's going to be sexually turned off. Every time she has to ask you for help or to remind you to do something, it's going to chip away at her perception of you as a competent man. And along with it, the level of respect that she has for you. The need to remind you to do things, to actually follow through on doing the things you said that you were going to do. Isn't that how a mother interacts with her children? Your actions will determine if she's going to view you as a man or a boy. There's seldom an in-between here, guys. Like if she views you as a child, that's a surefire way to shut down her nether regions. I remember a time I had to tell Michael of something having to do with the kid's school.